Hi Chris, good evening. Thank you for joining. I am doing another live with Hi Nishtha, thank you for joining. Good evening. Let's wait for a few more people to join us. Good evening to everyone. Hello, some strings attached. Thank you for joining. Good evening. To the new people who are joining us, I am going live with a fellow author in some time. I have recently read one of her books. In fact, her debut novel, titled Raksha Bandhan, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading it. She is going to be live with me in some time. We are going to have a wonderful conversation about our books and about our writing journey and processes. I'm very excited to chat with her. I think we have enough viewers now. I'm going to go ahead and add our guest to the live. Wait for her to join us.
Hi Manali.
Good evening.
Good
Wow, is
evening.
that your book's poster that I see in the background? That's wonderful. Wow, amazing. Congratulations. Did someone give that to you?
Yes, I got it on 27th of September, the bestseller day.
Oh, how amazing. Congratulations on that. And
Thank you so
that
much.
seems to be an amazing poster. Can we have a look at it completely?
Yes, of course. I would be happy to share it with everyone. Here is it, Raksha Bandhan.
Wonderful, wonderful. Congratulations. So I was just telling
Thank
the
you.
viewers that we are going to be talking about our books, which we have read. I have read your Raksha Bandhan, and you have read my The Art of Being Grateful, and I absolutely enjoyed reading your book. It was one of the most powerful books and stories that I have read recently, and
Thank you.
it was so such an eye opener and very uplifting. As a woman, reading such stories is very uplifting. So kudos to you for
Thank
that, for telling such a
thank you.
powerful story.
Thank you so much. It is so nice to have readers like you, people like you around who understand the soul of the book. Thank you for that.
So Nishtha, after reading and while reading also, I had a lot many questions as a reader because I'm a very curious reader. I want to get into the mind of the author, what went behind the story and what's her story like. So
Yeah.
Shron, I have like 5 to 6 questions to ask you. Are you ready
Yes,
to answer them?
yes, I am ready, all set.
Okay, so my first question to you actually is related to the story, which is it's a taboo topic. You talk about a story which is around sexual harassment of a small girl, a teenage girl. So tell me how did you bring up the courage to write such a story?
So, Manali, I feel that in our society, we see a lot of things around us. We see a lot of things that happen around us which are not that just and which are not human actually. But then we just ignore things and we just pass them on and we try to keep the positive memories itself. But what I felt is, I personally felt that there are a lot of things which should not just be ignored, but but we should talk about them. We should try to rectify them from the society. And my concept behind the story was to bring a piece of art to everyone, which is very common in the society, very common, I would say, but is never taken that seriously. And also, people don't, realize the critical situation, the intensity of that relationship. And I know it was not easy to, explain people that in a book like Raksha Bandhan, I'm talking about such things. But then I thought it was the need of the hour. If not me, and if not anyone is going to do this, I felt that I'm going to do some injustice to the society. So I took the charge. And Manali, there was a lot of criticism by many people. Like, oh, being in India, born like Raksha Bandhan, are you really going to talk about this? But I felt that if people can do this, why I can't talk about it? So this was my motivation behind it. And here am I.
That's wonderful, Nishtha. Your answer, the way you answered your question, this question, it reminded me of a quote. Be the change you want to see in the world. Your answer was
Absolutely.
perfectly, perfect example of that quote, and I love that attitude of yours.
Thank
That brings
you.
me to my second question, which is you highlight the fact that talking about such things is easy unless and until it's happening with you. So, what would be your advice to overcome such a situation for those who are facing it and do not have the courage to speak about it?
So, Manali, I would say this book, when I was writing it, it is inspired by true stories around me. So, though in this story, Nisha, she kept this into her heart with her itself for the entire life. But then I feel that if we just not talk about it and keep it to ourselves, we are not doing the right thing. It is bad to just keep on tolerating and not talking about it. I would like to convey to everyone who's watching us today that you should not stop any time. You should not keep anything to yourself. If there is anything wrong in the world going on with you, just talk about it. You need to reach the right person, right people who will help you out to come out of the situation. And I also felt that if we don't talk about such things, if we don't share things with people, we might do wrong to other people also. Like I personally felt Nisha was quiet all her life. That was just because of the tender age she had, but probably her, her being quiet might, trouble other people also around. Maybe some other people were victim of that. So
Hmm.
I strongly believe that it is important to talk about it, and you should find the right person who's not going to make it a gossip, but who's actually going to help you to solve this.
Definitely. So, yeah, and your answer also reminds me of the fact that, there are quite a few support groups also these days, which are anonymous,
Right.
and they are a safe space to talk about such things. People should
Yeah.
reach out to such support groups. That definitely
Right.
helps because, keeping these things inside you, bottled up, it's not good for your health, physical or mental health. So
Right. Right.
yeah, that's great advice, Nishtha. Thanks. And
Thank
which
you.
brings me to my next question. How long did it take for you to write this book? This is a question I ask every author whose book I read. How long did it take you for writing this book and bringing it out to the world?
So, Manali, I'll say that I had this story in my mind since the year 2014, so 6 years back. But then I never used to, put all my energy to it all together. It was just going parallel to with everything that was there in my life. But
Mhm.
it was last year in the year 2019 when I realized that there is one thing that is missing out of my happening life, and it was Raksha Bandhan. So it was that day when I decided, it was the month of September, August, September only, when I decided that I am not going to leave it halfway because, things that we miss or things that we leave halfway always trouble us inside that we have not done justice to it. So it took me 4 months exactly to, sit. I am an IT professional also, so at times it's tough to sit for all the days. But it took me 4 months to give all my energy, all my commitment towards the book, and after that I was there. So you know what I think, Manali? All those 6 years when the story was here, I never took the courage, I never took the time to sit and write it out. But then 4 months, these were the most beautiful months when I was there in my book. So it took me 4 months.
Yeah, again, your answer reminds me of a quote. I don't know what it exactly goes like, but it's something like if you give 6 months to your work and if you give it 100%, it will definitely come to fruition. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
6 months is more than enough for giving something that you love and want to do. It's enough time to give it a fruitful result, I believe.
Absolutely right. I agree with you.
So my next question is, what is that one advice that you want to give to upcoming authors and writers? Something
I
which you
would
have learned from your own mistakes, because as writers, I know because I have written 3 books, and I know because I have made a lot of mistakes in all my books so far. So I have learned from them, and I don't want other people to make the same mistake. So please tell us.
Yeah. So I would say, Manali, we all learn by our own experiences. That is, I always feel, and I've already learned it. I am learning it. I've learned it from you also, from many people like you. So I feel that, everyone will feel like your story, the story that you have written by yourself is the best one. But then it is about readers, it is about a lot of opinions that might, come all together and help you to, groom more, to learn more, to improve more, enhance more. There's one more thing that I would like to tell everyone, either it is they are into the writing world or not. Anything you want to do, anything, you will always have excuses to skip that, and you'll always have some people who might criticize you and you might feel low. But what I have learned that you should never take criticism in a negative way.
Hmm.
I find that criticism should always be taken in a positive way, and I personally take it in a very positive way. I try improving from everything that I learn. And the third thing that I want to tell everyone is that you need to have a lot of patience to achieve anything in life. So, patience is very important. It is not easy to get anything overnight. You have
Hmm.
to wait for it. You have to invest into it. You have to, spare a lot of nights. A lot of failures are going to come around. But at the end, you should never stop. So, everyone who's watching me and Manali today, I would like to tell every one of you that even the two of us have learned a lot of lessons, have faced a lot of failures, but we are going on, and this should be there forever. You should never stop by anything.
Definitely, that's wonderful positive advice. That you must not take criticism to heart. It should always be taken as constructive criticism. It's a way for you to
Right.
grow and improve.
Right, absolutely. So, Manali, now I have certain things for you.
Let's
I
go.
have read your book, The Art of Being Grateful, which is a beautiful book, and the stories are so nice, they keep you engaged. I would really like to know, why did you take up the title as The Art of Being Grateful, and what inspired you to write this book?
Okay, so the story behind the title is actually. Uh, are you asking for the book title or the story title? Hello, can you hear me, Nishtha? You are asking the book title or the story?
Hello,
I think
Manali, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I think the
Yeah.
connection went off for a while. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So I was
Yes.
trying to know the title of the book.
Okay, so the title of the book actually has an interesting backstory to it because when all the stories were compiled and ready, you were looking at book cover options, and there were about 4 to 5 options that I was very keen on taking on. But this is what we finally chose because it was so aesthetically beautiful and appealing, and I am personally a huge fan of flat lays, and the cover that you see, it's a flat lay of very beautiful things put together, and it
Yeah.
looks very appealing. So when we were thinking about what title we should choose to, keep for the book, the only story title that was going with the cover was The Art of Being Grateful. Because when you're looking at the cover, you immediately feel that, wow, this is so beautiful. I feel grateful for looking at it. That's how the
Yeah.
title came.
Okay, nice. That's interesting. So, Manali, like it was not your first book. You've already written a few books which are going really well in the market. So, I would really like to know, what was the journey from your debut novel to this novel of yours? What all things have you learned, and what all things have you added in your figures?
Okay, so the most important lesson that I have learned is, engaging with as many people as possible from the community. That's very important because once you come out of that shell, you realize that there's so much to learn from other people who are doing the same kind of work that you are doing. Secondly,
Hmm.
uh, from my debut book till now, there are things that I have learned about publishing which I was completely unaware about. There are so many types of publishing options out there which new writers might not be aware of. And to all those who are looking to publish their first book, I would definitely give the topmost advice is that try to understand the kind of options that are there out there. There is so many types of publishing, and try to understand the difference between all the types of publishing out there. And before you make that, decision to go with a particular publisher or publishing house, understand what it entails. Like there is traditional publishing, there is partner publishing, there is self-publishing. So many options out there. Vanity publishing is also there. So all this you need to understand before going in. Right? Unlike myself, who realized all this after getting the book published, I think it is better to understand all this beforehand.
That's so
That's
nice of you. That you are imparting your lessons to other people. That's so nice. God bless you for that. Manali, I personally know a lot about you. I've read a lot about you. You were a teacher, you were into marketing, you were doing a lot of things before. Then why did when did you realize and why did you realize that you will give up everything and you will jump into this pool of writing?
so. My professional life journey is something I called a long process of elimination because
Okay.
it's taken a lot of here and there poking around in various fields for me to realize that writing is my calling. But beneath
Okay.
all that, I'm thankful that each of these professions entailed a bit of writing, which made me realize that this is where my forte lies, and this is my life's calling. This is something. It's of course you have to nurture it, but I also believe that it's somewhere hidden talent in you, and it is a born talent as well. It's not
Right.
something. Yeah,
Absolutely.
you are born with it, but you definitely need to nurture it too. So that's how my life's calling came. And as to why I decided to do it completely full time is because after doing so many jobs, I realized that it's doing a day job is just not my thing. I am not the 9 to 4, 9 to 5 kind of a person. It won't satisfy me because I have done 3 to 4 jobs and none of them satisfied me as much as being a full time writer. So that's how.
That's so nice. If you start enjoying what you do, you're going to excel it in like anything. So I'm so happy that you finally landed up into something that you always wanted to do. And the best is, it is making you happy and you're satisfied. So
Yeah.
that's really amazing thing. So, so Manali, I feel like for people like us, there is a lot of family responsibility around us. We have to do a lot of things, being girls, more expectations. So how do you handle all these things in your life together?
So there is, of course, you need to have a certain kind of discipline.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I realized when I started doing only full time writing as a and working from home. People don't think about the difficulties that come from working from home. It's now this in lockdown and the entire world is working from home now. That's when people have realized that it's more difficult than doing a full time job because you have to
Yeah,
handle things at the same time and you are at home, so that's having a discipline. First thing is that having a discipline and a routine, like dividing the day into your personal stuff and your professional stuff. Like I have the schedule where in between 11 to 4 I do not do any kind of domestic work. I am only focused 100% on what I have to do professionally. That's
that's nice.
and secondly, even in your daily work that you are doing, have personal targets like writing 500 words or reading 200 pages. That helps. That also helps. And while you are doing one thing, don't focus on the other. When you are doing your domestic,
Mm.
don't think about your work. And when you are doing your work, don't think about your domestic duties.
That's
That's
so sorted.
yeah. That's how I'm able to give 100% to both the things, my personal life and my professional work.
That's nice, and I hope many people, who will be watching this or who are watching this will get some sort of help in managing their tasks, which might be, flying here and there. Time management, managing your tasks is a big thing. If you are done with it, you're done with everything. You can do everything perfectly. So,
Yeah.
Manali, one more is really nice. I would really recommend everyone to read this one. And then what excites me is what are you coming up with the next one? What is there coming from Manali?
That question has been asked so many times, and I definitely have one book which is coming out in January, which is going to be a non-fiction book
Okay.
related to inspiring life stories of women like you. In fact, women like you who are doing multiple things professionally, like besides a full time job, they are doing something else also. And most of these women have done it themselves, and without the help of their families, or some even have come overcome some personal life or professional life trauma. So these are the kind of stories which will be part of that book. And I'm currently talking to a few publishers, and I'm hoping that the book will be out in sometime in January or early 2021. But since people are asking me this question repeatedly, I might also come up with something, like a flash read or something in between time, like, before that
Oh,
book comes out. I have
that
been
excites
toying with
me.
that idea.
That excites me, And Manali, one more thing that I would say, I really feel it from my heart, and I'm sure you must be feeling the same. So, once you are an old timer in the world of writing, I've just entered. So, once I was out this world, I could have never imagined the depth that we have in this world, and the tendency that is there. I used to feel past a few months, a few years back that books are not that prominent in the world. People are not reading it that much. But after entering this world, I've realized that, old is gold is still there. Books are the bestest friend to anybody. And the way that we can express while we write can never be expressed in words. So I really feel that, this world is so huge for us. We have so much to explore, so much to do. And I really want to do a lot. I know you will also do a lot. So, do you feel the same that this is a big pool? We have so much to do in it.
I I personally feel that there is this phrase which goes, so many books to read, so little time. I don't believe just for books. I believe there is so much to live and so little time.
Wow, beautiful.
So yes, there is definitely a lot of creativity around, and each person brings something of their own style, their own unique way of writing or telling a story to the table, which I believe nobody can take away from that. And whatever stories are not yet told, somebody said, there is a quote somewhere else also, if somebody has not written the story that you want to read, you might write it as well yourself. So
Yeah.
that that's also something that I take inspiration from. अगर तुम्हें किसी की स्टोरी नहीं पसंद आ रही है तो तुम खुद लिखो ना.
That's so nice.
So
I
yeah.
love this one.
Yes, there is definitely a scope for more writing, more reading, in fact more of creativity all around. There is a lot of scope for everyone to give out so much more to the world.
Yeah, I really hope we do our best in this.
So definitely, Nishtha, this has been such a wonderful conversation. I enjoyed talking about our books, and congratulations to you again once more. I can see that glow on your face still, for making to the bestsellers list, and I hope Raksha Bandhan continues to flourish and do well, so, over the
Thank
period
you
of
so
so
much.
many years.
I'm so happy. I have blessings like yours and, so good things from you. I really like hearing it from you. Thanks, Manali. Thank you so much.
It's a complete pleasure. Thank you for joining me, Nishtha. Have a great day ahead. Bye. Take care.
Okay, great evening. Bye bye.